Hey, everybody. It is a different day. It's not Wednesday, it's a Tuesday. And this is a good thing because we're starting off a whole new series that's a part of Hammer Away now. It's going to be talking about folks that are going to be going to the Funny Bone. They're going to be coming for an appearance at the Funny Bone. My friend Ron Matthews helped me out with this idea, and he and I started thinking, boy, this would be a great thing to do. So he's like, we got Joe Waters coming in, and he would love to do this. I'm like, that sounds great. Let's fit it in before the show. The show is going to be on St. Patty's Day on the 17th, which I believe is this weekend, and on Sunday evening. So I'll tell you a little bit more about those details here in a short bit. But you know what? I want to get going with my guest. So I'm going to take this off the screen, and here we go with Mr. Joe Waters. What's shaking, brother? How you doing?
I'm amazing, man. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's good to have you here, man. Where are you now?
Right now, I'm in Yellow Springs, Ohio. It's one of the prettiest, well, I would say one of the prettiest spots in Ohio, man.
Wow.
I got a show here tonight at Trailtown Brewing in Yellow Springs, man. I'm here in my camper, my little homemade square drop camper, hanging out, isolating myself, and yeah, man.
Well, it's good to be hibernating with you, man, for a little bit. I work a job at a school, and I set my van up with a little sleeping area in the back. So when I take a lunch break, I just go out there and snooze.
Exactly.
It's great. I love it. I love it. Now, there's a million things to talk about because you and I are new to each other.
Yeah.
Yet the style of music that you play and the way you got into it is not so crazy, but it is a blessing in the way that you got into this, and I'm really eager to talk about that. Like I say, you're going to be out at the Funny Bone. I have the details pulled up here. I do believe you're going to be out there on St. Patrick's Day in St. Charles, Funny Bone. It's March 17th at 6 p.m. Tickets are $12. Make sure you take care of those. It's going to be a great show. And then I want to also mention that you now in the 2024 International Blues Competition at the Orpheum in Memphis, Tennessee. You participated and
yeah, I won it. I got first place in the solo duo competition.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
How easy was that?
That was I had been down there. It was my fourth time down there.
Okay.
So I went down there. I've been trying to do that probably since 2016.
Wow.
Originally with my dad, we had went down there 3 times together, and this fourth time, it had been, COVID happened and stuff, so it'd been like probably 3 or 4 years since I competed, and I don't know, man. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, so I don't know how easy it was, but it took a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
Took a lot of practice and just writing original songs and being in a good mindset, and I think just everything involved with that was very important.
Yep.
Down to the diet, what I was drinking, what I was not drinking, what I was smoking, what I wasn't smoking.
There you go.
I think all of it was super important.
Wow. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's I've learned a lot more about technique over the last few years. I am far from being where I could be still, but yeah, it's things you work on and things you practice, things you learn, whether that's self-taught or somebody giving you a little word of wisdom.
I don't necessarily feel like I play a standard, I really don't play a standard 12-bar blues, 1-4-5 sort of scenario. I'm kind of, out of the box, and I really like Tommy Emmanuel. I really like this cat out here. He's from I don't want to say where he's from because I actually can't remember right now, but he lives in Colorado right now. His name's Kerry Morin. He's just an amazing open tuning style finger player, and I think maybe since I grew up playing blues and stuff, like people might pigeonhole me into that category, but I play like a lot of R&B, funk. I play a lot, yeah, as all blues guys do, and then I do a lot of country and bluegrass and just Americana music.
Cool.
But but there was I don't know how many people were there at the IBC. There was like, I want to say there was like probably at least 170 something solo duo acts, and there was probably
Wow.
an equal amount of bands. And they truly are from, not just all around the country, all around the world, and
That's
every
amazing.
everybody was really good. And did I feel confident? Yeah, I felt confident in my music. Like, I felt confident in, like, my practicing and, like, the original songs that I wrote, and I know what I wrote was good.
Mhm.
So I felt confident and happy about that, and I just tried to play my ass off, and it worked. So, but
And
everybody down there was top notch and just really fun and nice to hang out with.
that's great.
It's a
That's
good
great.
time.
What a great, environment, when you get in there and everybody's confident, good, and you just have a good time together, and you're happy for whoever's gonna get the win,
For sure.
you know? That also brings me to a point, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it does bring me to a point where the one thing I don't believe in is luck. Um, and y for the reasons that you just mentioned, that's the way I feel about it, because there's no way I would look at you, Joe, and go, "Oh, you're lucky you won." I mean, to me, excuse me, but I don't mean any offense to anybody who uses that word just because it's a word, you know? "Oh, man, you're lucky." And they mean it in a great spirit, but I'm like, that doesn't have shit to do with it. You worked your ass off and you made sure that you were ready and it happened.
Yeah, man.
I I think it sells a little short if you just call it lucky. So
For sure.
that's I don't know how you feel about that.
Like, yeah, like you said, it took a lot of practice. I've been playing harmonica since I was 5 years old, and my
Yeah,
dad my dad is a accomplished musician. He's been playing his whole life, so he taught me everything he knows, and just, I don't know, like, I know 15 different ways to play a G chord, and I think that's important. It really
absolutely.
keeps it really keeps sorry, somebody's calling me, gotta hang that up. It really keep I told them not to bother me too.
Maybe it's really important.
Yeah, it keeps it keeps the blues interesting because it's a 1-4-5 scenario, or you're just staying on the one, da-dun, 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 and it's a 1-4. So to keep that one chord really interesting,
Yeah,
my dad really helped me out a lot with that, and I yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I feel like it took a lot of practice for sure.
yeah. There's a lot of forethought, like you're talking about. When you're talking about blues, you go to a local blues show, and I've been to a couple. I haven't been to a bunch, but I've been to a couple that are blues music all night. And there are times where that can get a little I don't wanna be a dick about it, because I play in a band now that I front, that it's about blues related music. Everything has to be blues related in some way, and we're
Yeah,
called Edge of Blue. So, it's
that's
my
awesome.
job to make sure that it's not just the same 3 chords with different words over the top and a different melody line. You know what I mean? It you can learn, as you're talking about, you can learn to do it in a more interesting or a different way so that it is at the root is what it is, but it's a little exciting,
Yeah,
different.
for sure.
Yeah. We have Chad Bowers. You know Chad?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That came in right before we started, so we were a few minutes behind, but that's all good. Yep, that's it, Drew. Time to rock. Hey, Salvatore's here. Great to see you.
Oh,
Akuna's Dream.
that's my girlfriend. She's tuning in.
Aw. Well, hello. Is she at home? She gonna
My
be
girlfriend.
Yeah.
My manager, yeah, she's at home. Yeah, she's
Okay.
at home hanging out right now.
I didn't know if she would be hanging with you for the show. Who is this guy? Ron Matthews. This guy's my brother, man. This is thank you, Ron. This is all very, very cool.
It
Ron
is
is a
all very,
hard
very
worker.
cool.
Yeah. Ron's a hard worker.
Oh,
Joe,
there's
put
my
your phone on the
manager.
do not disturb.
Yes, there's my manager.
See? Isn't it great that
There we go.
she could be so far away and yet just right here for you? That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Well, then, usually what I'll do, I'll jump
Hold
into
on
this
here.
now. Oh, sure. You let me know when. Let's see here.
There we go.
No, you're whoop. Hello. Uh-oh, I lost him. It's all right. He'll come right back. He probably just hit a button and hung it up accidentally. So we'll be right back. In the meantime, this was something I forgot to share from the vinyl pickup the other day when we went down to the record exchange. I found this as well on Blu-ray, the Joe Satriani Saturated Blu-ray. It it's pretty cool. I checked it out on Amazon and it was not available. Are you a Satriani fan at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I found this at Record Exchange here the other day, and I was just mentioning that on Amazon, it's not available on Blu-ray. You can't. So as I looked at the store, I'm like, should I get it? Should I not get it? And then it wasn't there, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting it then. So it was cool. We had it went down. Do you this was actually I do a lightning round with all my guests. And it's just like 5 quick questions. And
Yeah.
one of them is, do you collect vinyl?
Yeah. A small amount. I have a small amount of vinyl.
Yeah. How like what's a small amount?
I have like maybe 70 records.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Do you still purchase things here and there?
Here and there, if it's a good deal, and like I don't have a really good record player right now that just honestly just listening to stuff at my PA at home sounds better than my record player right now. So I'll just
I
go on
get you.
YouTube or something. But so I need to get a quality record player for sure before I start really investing into that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I kind of went inexpensive. I have this Season Life turntable that I purchased. I got it off of Amazon. It's got built-in speakers. It's Bluetooth, but it's not Bluetooth like
Nice.
goes straight to a speaker. It's Bluetooth like it goes to my phone, and then my phone goes to the speaker. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. 78 small. That's true. That's true. There's a great shop in Springfield, Illinois that sells like really heavy duty record crates. And it's called Dumb Records. I don't know why we keep popping out of here. I think it should be fine, but keep going black. It's like really, really weird. Anyway, but yeah, it's called Dumb Records. It's right in the middle of Springfield. If you're ever going through there and want to check it out, it's a nice
Oh,
little shop.
sweet.
Nice little shop.
Awesome.
Let's see. What's the first song that you learned to play on that harmonica that you got at 5 at the Cracker Barrel?
The first song I learned how to play was the Catfish Blues, and I
There you
don't
go.
I don't know off the top of my head who wrote that, but I think the version I learned was Muddy Waters.
Okay.
Yeah, so and honestly, the first song I learned, the first thing I learned how to do, my dad taught me was a train tune. It's like so
Sweet.
you learn that, and I think the second natural thing you would learn on a if you're learning blues harmonica would be
Yeah.
you know.
There you go.
So those are the first kind of two things I learned on the harp.
That's kind of funny. I was just talking to a friend as a coworker as we walked into the building the other day, and they were telling me of some not so great things that had happened over the weekend, and I went, "Da-na-na-na." I couldn't help it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, sorry, it just was bad. Um, and do you still have that harmonica?
I don't.
Oh, you
I
don't?
don't. No, but since then I've went back to Cracker Barrel and I bought one just like it.
What brand is it? Is it a
It's
Honer?
a shilling.
Okay, cool.
It's a shilling. I think it
Yeah.
might be by it's like by Honer, but it's
Oh,
like cheaper materials, so you can buy it for like $8 or something.
there you go. There you go. That's how much I spent on
Speaking
the
of which, I just
Satriani.
got like when I won the IBC, I just got like a bunch of Lee Oscar harmonicas.
Oh,
So
wow.
Lee Oscar and their team hooked me up really well, really well. They went above and beyond the prize package. I'm gonna flip my phone around here and just flip it
Sure.
around.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
there's the Lee,
gosh.
there's the Lee Oscar. There's all the harps. So
Wow.
there's 22 different harps in there.
Oh
So
my gosh.
you got all your G, A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs, back to G, and then all your minor harps, all your and then you got all your high harps. He sent me some low harps that are really cool. So
Ooh.
normally like the F is like the really high pitch harmonica.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's like in a natural set of harmonicas that you would buy, it's really high. So he sent me a low F, nice and low.
Oh,
It's not,
that's
yeah,
meaty.
I love it.
You could eat ribs off of that. That's beautiful. Man, holy crap.
I love it. I love that thing. I'm so happy.
Oh, man. So do you ever think you would, just continue to collect and get some of the small,
I would
isn't it
get small ones, big. Yeah, I mean, like I would. These harps go out, man. I have like 200 broken harmonicas. So like I want to learn how to I want to get the tools to like rebuild them and like maybe
holy
get a
crap.
few rebuilt ones or like some like custom harp. Maybe invest in some custom harps and like see how they feel and like maybe talk to
Yeah.
who built them and see if they can give me some tips or something on like how to repair my harps because I have so many and like it's like all of them work perfectly except for like one note or something.
That's wild. Yeah,
So
because, uh,
I don't
I
know.
could I could think about all the people who play harmonica, and I can think of all immediately I'm like, well, they all know how the harmonica is and what can go out on a harmonica. The first person I think of is, well, of course, there's Popper. I think about him, traveling, why can't I say it?
Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler. I was all of a sudden, Traveling Wilburys comes to my head. Not that they didn't have any harmonica in their stuff, but then Huey Lewis and, a lot of these
As
folks
far
that
as harp
I
player.
know of, you
Yeah.
know, but for the rest of us though, who don't play, what goes out on a harmonica?
I think it's just that like I haven't I don't really they say you're supposed to like warm your harmonicas up or like maybe not play a bunch of like I think you're supposed to break them in. So like
Yeah,
maybe not bend. So to like breathe through your harps first, I
yeah,
guess, is the
yeah.
idea before you go bending on them. Before you start bending on stuff, I think that's what breaks them. And
Yeah,
then so because the reed, because it's this little tiny reed that vibrates inside the harmonica, and I think what happens is it cracks, and you get these little hairline cracks, and
right.
it stops or gunk gets in them. Sometimes you can just clean them and they start working again, but I think I have some cracks in mine that need repaired or the reeds taken out or something. The cool thing about the Lee Oscar harps is that you can rebuild them. So you can replace the plates on them, or you can buy new reed plates or whatever and just pop them in versus
Yeah,
like having to know how to like solder or like shave the reeds down to get the right pitch.
right,
You just
right.
pop them in, screw them in, and they work. But
I would suppose you could
still
probably
getting
get,
used to them.
like, a custom plating done that you could just put on it, you know?
Right.
Like, get your name put on it or get a design that you like, and
Maybe someday. Maybe someday there will be a Waters harmonica.
I was gonna say, what would there's a lightning round question. I'll throw that in. What would you have around your name? What is something design wise that like right now I'm into dragon things because I'm talking about, my grandson, blah, 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 is gonna be born in the year of the dragon. I'm a dragon. That's a thing between us now. So I'm thinking
Nice.
dragons. But what would be something you dig that you would put around it?
What would I like? What
You
would
would
I like
what would
invent
if you
or
had your
like?
name on there and still some room on the side of the plate, what would you put on there?
Oh, I don't probably like H2O or something. Since my last name's Waters, I just put H2O or something. That's cool.
Great. That's great.
I've
Yeah,
been
and you
thinking
could
I
have
want to make like a guitar strap that has like, because like I play guitar and harmonica at the same time. I was thinking it'd be cool to have like a guitar strap that you can put the harmonicas in, like a
there you go.
because all the harp players have the thing, like, they have their wrap around them. You know what I mean?
Right,
These
right.
like these guys, these guys do that. I don't know. I can't name them. I don't know who these guys are, but they wear them. And I think it'd be cool to have like a hybrid, like a guitar strap, harmonica
Absolutely.
holder hybrid. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think I've
freaking
ever seen
brilliant.
that.
That's
I don't
brilliant.
think I've ever seen it.
I'd wonder, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to look either that or we're millionaires now.
I think so. I think
So
between you, me, and Lee Oscar, we're gonna make this thing happen.
we got it. We got this. Not a problem. We'll just call Levi and have him do one real quick. Right? I love their straps. Um, here's another question for you. Blues is certainly a style that it like as I say for my band, it touches every genre of music, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's I don't know if it's the well, no, okay, so it wouldn't be, I suppose. But I'm just trying to think of any other kind of music that touches every genre of music the way blues does, because you can find blues in pop music, you can find it in, metal, jazz,
Yeah.
country, rock. It's throughout all genres.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I
what
don't. I
is
don't
a
think that. I don't think
Go
there
ahead.
is any other. I don't think there is any other genre that does that. It's hard to think about.
I mean, the only thing I was when I stopped for a second because I got to thinking about orchestral music because
Me too. Yeah.
you have all these bands that, everybody from Metallica to Scorpions to, Moody Blues to ELP that got together. Yes, Styx, members did it, and you get together with this orchestra and then they back up your music and it sounds freaking amazing.
Right.
Uh, so maybe a little bit of that. I mean, heck, worked for Kiss. Kiss did it. So, you know, and they did it before they even thought about doing it with Beth, I don't know. Um, but when I think of like can you think of a pop tune that's very blues oriented that you really like?
I don't know, man. A pop tune, huh?
Yeah, I think of Careless Whisper. That's a
I feel like I feel like Ariana Grande's got some really good blues vocal runs. I feel
yeah,
like all these like R&B singers and stuff do too. They got
yep.
some like really good vocal runs that sound blues based.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe the chord structure is like pretty out there or something, but the vocals kind of bring it back home a little bit.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of aspects in blues that allows it to carry over.
Right.
There's lyrical content. Is it a non-happy tune? You know?
Well, like I will be playing these like blues songs
Mhm.
that I don't know that sound kind of country. I was listening to somebody else talk the other day. They were saying his name's Buffalo Nichols.
Okay.
Um he's a blues dude that's kind of up and coming. I played with him. I didn't play with him. I saw him at the Telluride Blues Festival
Oh,
last
okay.
year or yeah, last year or the year before that I was playing at it too. I saw him play. And I've been following him since. But whatever. He was talking about how like back in the day, there these like black blues artists weren't they didn't they weren't even blues artists. They were really country artists or whatever, but the white people didn't want to let them call their music country or bluegrass. So they
Yeah.
would call it like they 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 would just call it blues. So you're listening to these old like Sonny Terry like CDs that like they're considered blues artists, and a lot of the stuff is blues, but you listen to it and it sounds kind of country, like
Oh yeah.
you know, you get that boom 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 boom, that kind of
Yeah.
thing going on, and people think it's country, but you're really kind of, you know, you're still playing the blues. Like
Mhm.
it's, but like I
I
get to
love
playing
it.
that stuff, and the people think it's like I'm playing bluegrass or something,
Right.
which I don't. I play with a lot of hot bluegrass pickers around here, and like
Yeah.
it's not bluegrass. They'd be like, "What are you doing?" They'd be like, "That's not bluegrass, there." But
You're like,
I
no,
don't
no, no, no,
know.
no, no.
It does
Yeah.
touch on all blues. Blues seems to touch on every single genre that I play, especially when I play it. Like I'll play some country,
Yep.
and like I'll be playing the blues box, and
Hmm.
you know, a lot of blues licks. I won't be doing as many, country licks.
Hmm. Yeah. ZZ
Won't be
Top.
doing all.
I think about ZZ Top a lot. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Well,
Thin
then I
Lizzy.
think about Eric Gales and Joe Bonamassa. They're out here
Oh,
ripping, ripping, dude. Fucking
absolutely.
ripping. But they're like also they're stepping outside the blues box too, or they're stepping outside the blues realm, or like the blues
Hmm.
chord structure, or like the
Hmm.
blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're getting out.
Absolutely.
They're getting out there,
Yeah.
super out there.
Talking all this blues talk, I need a drink. I just, I just
Need some
realized I haven't even
bourbon.
opened up a drink yet. I got a nice Yingling flight today, um, that I got from my daughter at a family gathering recently, and so I'm gonna
Right.
finally crack that. It's been in my car, but oh wow, these things aren't easy to get open all the time. There we go. Um, but yeah, it's that's the reason that I love this band that I'm playing in. I love the two guys that are in it with me, and I'm eager to talk about to get into your band situation now.
Yeah.
Um, then let me ask you this too: do you enjoy? I'll wrap up this lightning round. Do you enjoy changing things up a bit when you do a cover?
Oh yeah. Oh
Mm,
yeah. One of my favorite covers that I do is this. It's Neil Young's "Old Man."
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I tune. So like I'll tune it to Dad Gad,
Yep.
and like obviously there's harmonica on it, but it's just kind of like I switch it up a little bit for
Okay.
sure. I make the solos a little more spacey, I would say, and they don't follow the melody.
Hmm.
My solos they on that song don't follow the melody, and I just feel like I do a really pretty rendition of that. It's pretty
Wow.
close to the original. The chord structure is the same, but I feel like the
Yeah.
rhythm and the
Yeah.
tuning kind of changes it a little bit.
I'm, at this point, I'm
I
really
think I changed the
interested.
F to an A minor too.
Oh,
I
is that
think that
right?
I think no, I don't think it helps. I think it changes it. Definitely changes it. I think it's pretty though.
Well, and that's yeah. I love that fact when I don't know as much as you do about that, but I do play with people who are in that realm, and when they do that kind of stuff, I'm like, "What did you just do there?" Because I like that. That's not the norm, but that's good, you know?
Mm.
I just love that.
Yeah,
Whether
man.
it's whether it's a guitar or whether it's drums playing through a part that's not normally played, you know, but it's great. Um, then let's see, I already asked you that. And I think I think we can get. I'm ready to start on the rest of the stuff, but so to get us started into that, you were talking about your dad, Jack, correct?
Yeah,
Jack Waters, and he's had a 35 plus year career. Probably, I mean, is it closer to 40 now, or is it? I
yeah, man.
suppose.
So we did. He got me playing harmonica. I got my first harmonica at Cracker Barrel. My mom, Tina Poteet, she kept her name, but they're still married. She kept her name. We went to the Cracker Barrel. I got my first harmonica, and then I think like a year later, after him teaching me the train kind of beat and the da 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 da, all that stuff.
Mhm.
After about a year of that and playing on the porch with him, he took me to. He would play a half hour. He would play the sets. He would play
Yeah.
at the breaks in between the sets of the blues band at this place called the Trolley Stop. Um, so on the breaks, he would play the little half hour or whatever, and I would he got me up one night. I didn't even know where my harmonica was. We went looking for it in the minivan. It was like under a seat next to like some discarded bag of candy because I was like 6. And so we found the candy harmonica and fucking I went up on the stage and played a couple songs. I was so nervous. So nervous, man. I was just like staring at the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I remember the ceiling back then. It was like this, like tin, the pretty tin ceilings in the kind of 1880s kind of buildings.
Yep.
Yeah, it was one of those. Since then, they've kind of painted it black and white. It's like a black and white house. And I
Wow.
still play there, so sometimes I still get nervous and look at the ceiling. I guess I don't know.
Is that right?
I do. I get nervous before a lot of shows. Almost every show, man. Honestly, no matter how big or small, my heart starts to race a little bit.
What I do the same, and I always think that I always say, well, I'm just nervous because I care about it. That's my usual go-to line. But what is it that you find a little unnerving about stuff? Is it a
It's like a
technical
social.
aspect?
Like a social anxiety, I think.
Okay.
I think it's a social anxiety, like a performance anxiety,
Yeah.
just like wanting to make sure nothing goes wrong and it sounds good and people are liking what I'm doing, and
Mhm. Yeah.
and this in this transitional period, like I feel like I've played so many breweries and bars and stuff where it's not a listening environment and people are there to like eat and drink, and they're not there for the music so much. So that I think gives me a lot of anxiety. When I'm gonna be playing these George Thorogood shows, like they're there, and all these big blues shows that I've gotten, all these basically the awards that I've gotten that I'm allowed to play, like the Blues Cruise and like the Big Blues Bender out in Nevada and the Blues Train and Durango. These are all awards that like I'm blessed to be able to have. And
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
when I'm playing there, I know they're there for the music versus when I'm at the brewery, you have that anxiety as if, do they even want you there kind of thing.
Yeah. 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 Like I say, we're kind of glorified jukeboxes at that point. We're just we're a jukebox that has blood flowing through us instead of quarters.
But
You
I'd
know.
rather be honestly, I'd still rather do that. I'd still rather be a jukebox in some bar where they're not listening and
Mhm.
playing music
Mhm.
than probably anything else. Like, I'd
That's a
still be blessed to have that.
Joe, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because there's nothing like that moment, and I know you've played more than I have. But there's that moment when you grab the audience though with something that you're doing and something that you've thought of. You're like, you've heard it and you're like, oh, that's gonna be good. And it grabs them, and you're like, wow, that's what it comes back to. That's
Yeah,
what
and
it
then just like trying to hold them there and keep it building is
Mhm.
another thing for sure.
And not fucking up.
Not fucking up. No, when I was down at the IBCs, I changed my like I said, I think everything matters. Like everything about that mattered, and I changed my guitar strings every day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
practiced a set every day, like multiple times a day,
Yeah.
timing my set, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Yeah. Yeah,
I was just trying to
it's,
be real careful.
yeah. Yeah, and you know, the good thing about it is that you have that opportunity. You can you can say, "Well, you know, I thought," because I do this. I'm like, "I thought this was the way to start a show. I thought this was the best way." No, I changed it up last time and put a song in the beginning that I never would have thought opening, and it was brilliant. It really it started it off right. It's something that everybody knew, but it wasn't bombastic, so I didn't knock
Yeah,
anybody, you know, on their ass in the beginning. I don't know. It just depends on the venue too,
yeah.
you know, but
So I
it is
didn't.
fun to put that together.
It is fun. 2 weeks before I went down there to the IBC, my friend gifted me a jaw harp, a Jew's harp. Um, and
Oh,
it's a Russian. It's Russian made. I think they're supposed to be some of the best ones. They each come in different keys. They're like G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then
okay.
they have all the ones in between. So I think this one's a F sharp. But he gave this to me 2 weeks before I went down there, and I just started playing it and
Yeah.
getting good at it. And I was like, man, I never thought I would do that. So it's kind of one of those last minute things I threw in there that I didn't think would, you know, even mesh. And somebody's like, no, you got to definitely take that down there. So it's a,
Oh, yeah.
this thing's
That
fucking awesome.
I mean, yeah, and through history, we have heard people do that, and it's just a brilliant way to start because it really gets your attention.
And that's a crossover between genres as well.
Yes. Yeah, let's
Is
put that back
because
up there.
is
Yes.
because that's definitely a crossover between genres because literally, I dude, I've watched these videos. This woman from Russia, I can't
Mhm.
remember her name. She plays one of these, and she does like animal sounds with it and stuff. And she
Huh.
goes into basically like this house, like really heavy bass, but it's all from this, you know.
Wow.
And she just sounds like a whole, I would say, dubstep band by her. Like she sounds like dubstep, all with this and her voice in her head. And I'm trying to get to that point. She's crazy
Oh,
good.
so now what's the dynamic between what you do with that? What is the dynamic that really changes it? Is it are you what are you doing with your mouth with that?
So sometimes, like the part that I wonder if I can get it close enough.
You can. Yeah, it looks good.
This
Oh, here, you
part,
know what? Let me put you up there by yourself. I'll
yeah.
mute just there you go.
So this part that moves back and forth. Sometimes, like if you let it hit, you put it on your tooth like this,
Oh, okay. All right.
and see, I hit my tooth there. You put it on your tooth like that.
Gotcha.
So what I'll do is sometimes I'll bring that part that goes inside my mouth,
Yeah.
the little reed that moves back and
Yeah.
forth. I'll let it hit the side of my. I'll move it over the whole thing,
Yeah.
and I'll let it like hit
Oh, man.
the inside of my mouth.
That's wild. Now,
So
is there
yeah,
anything with what you're doing with your throat or the back of your with your tongue, you know, to close up an area to make it a little tighter or a little
I'll
wider?
move my tongue forward and backwards to
Okay.
like. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
like when it gets lower, my tongue's moving backwards, and when it gets higher, my tongue's moving forwards.
It's like an organic theremin. It's it's like it's like,
It's
"No,
pretty
I got
fun.
this."
Well, it's like people think they can't do it, but I think it's because they have like kind of cheap ones, you know, like a $10 one or something. I think you have to
Right.
get a pretty good. I think you have to get a pretty good one for it to be easy and pick it up pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. quality. That's
It's fun though.
usually
A lot
how
of
it goes,
fun.
right?
You can make so many noises with that, and I swear to God, it brought a whole new life to my music and my thoughts about music. It made it more fun and just, sometimes I feel like I plateau, and then when I can like bring some more enjoyment and just like fun and play into
Mhm.
the music,
Yeah.
that makes the whole set just go by
Yeah,
in
and
a good
before you
way.
know it, you're like,
In a good
"Oh,
way.
yeah," and you're ready to move on to the next thing already.
Yes.
It is crazy. It really, and I think it's just, like I say, that's a sound that throughout my lifetime, that's a classic sound, whether it's used as a sound effect or whether it's used on stage in music, and it just grabs you immediately. You're like, "Wha if I heard you playing that at a show that I was attending, I'd be like, whoop, whoop, wait, what? Wait, I'm in. What's going on?" You know?
Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, so brilliant, great job. That's a great deal. It's always cool, I try to think about that, and I know that you do, from just talking to you here today, that you think about the crowd, and we know that we work hard at these songs, and that there are moments where we're like, "God, I'm gonna be sick of this song," because I'm working on it so many times, and
Yeah.
especially for me, I started late, so I have to practice a song a lot, but, the main thing is what you're getting from the crowd, so that's what you have to think about instead of going, "God, yes, I'll do it one more time," but you're like, "Nope, it's not what it's about. It's not about, 'Hey, how good are you?' It's, 'How are you affecting your crowd?'"
And on it, I like how you said you have to practice a song. I have to practice songs a lot too. I have to practice too a
Thank you,
lot.
okay.
It's yeah, so I I do think about the crowd. I really want them to have a good time, man. And they're my kind of livelihood, so I want them
Right.
to have a good time, and I want the kind of music that I play acoustically, you know,
Mhm.
my unfiltered acoustic music to stay, you know, to keep climbing as it is, and I want people to keep digging it.
Yeah.
And I think people like Sierra Farrell and Sierra Hull and Billy Strings and
Mm.
y- I think these guys are really keeping it going, keeping this acoustic traditional music on the forefront. And
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. I want to be part of that somehow.
that's awesome. That's
I do
it's
someday.
what uh, do I wanna get into this now? Let me save that. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about, your, because now you're doing your own kind of thing now, where you have a band, correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
And then, so not s what I mean by that is that it's not so you've spent a lot of years playing and recording with your father.
Yeah,
You guys recorded how many records together?
3 or 4.
Okay,
We've done one called 10. We did one called Magic Gate when I was like real young. Then
okay,
we did one called 10 plus 50. And then
okay.
we did one called 20 plus 60. Um, Here soon, we'll probably do one called 30 plus 70. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I think just 3. No, 4 because we did Blue Train, which is on Spotify and YouTube.
Good, thank you.
Blue Train by Troubled Waters. My dad Jack Waters and myself Joe. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's what you call it. Because I was again, this was new to me in the last, 48 hours, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, "Where am I gonna find these guys, and what is it
So
called?"
I got my website is called joewaters.life,
Okay,
and
good.
I have a CD that I just released like 4 or 5 months ago. No, like last year. Um, I'm working on getting into the studio again. I have a bunch of new songs I need to record.
Okay.
That are very pretty, and I'm just ready to get them out. But just trying to find a studio that I want it to sound get capture the way I think my guitar sounds,
Yes.
in my head. You know what I mean? Because you know how your guitar sounds, and then when
Yep.
you listen to it recorded, you're like, that's not how my guitar sounds. You know, so so like there's that album on there, and then there's my Joe Waters official pages on
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Um, those are the ones where I post all my shows and my new releases and just all my life updates.
Okay, cool. I put the one link in here in the chat. So if anybody wants to do that, anybody who's out there watching, if you have a question you want to throw in, you can please do so.
Yeah,
Um,
dude.
and then also, what is? Tell me. So this is like is it an online publication? The DurangoBluesTrain.com.
Yes.
Okay, because they had a piece on you there, which told me quite a bit. Um, about you playing along with your dad, and then your group when you have the band is called what?
Joe Waters and the Back Porch Band.
There
So
you
we do all kinds of stuff. We do like yeah, we focus on blues, but like honestly, we do a lot of Grateful Dead tunes. We do a lot of bluegrass tunes, a lot of jazz grass. We're working on some Tony Rice style like jazz grass.
go. Okay, cool.
So kind of I think the idea behind Joe Waters and the Back Porch Band is just like whatever the occasion calls for, I
Yeah,
will hire certain people to play with me. For like if I'm playing bluegrass, or if I'm
yeah.
playing jazz grass, I will hire certain people, and if I'm playing blues, I will hire certain people. But I think the main group, the main like three people behind it would be my friend James Hendrickson. He plays stand up bass.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then my friend Joe Prescott, he plays the drums, and then it's me. So that's the main trio.
Hmm.
And then anything beyond that, like so those guys can do anything, but like then beyond that, we will just hire whatever fits the bill.
Hmm.
So that's Joe Waters and the Back Porch Band, and we have some videos. If you just type in my name on YouTube, that we have some videos from just people that have been in the crowd and whatnot. We're working on getting some professional videos, but if you want to see some solo professional videos, just go on Joe Waters official on YouTube, and yeah, I have like four or five up from California, and I have in Santa Cruz that are really pretty, and then
Sweet.
I have just a bunch from like if you just type in Joe Waters on YouTube, you'll see videos from the time I was like a little tiny baby,
You
like
will.
playing harmonica to like yesterday.
I because I thought about I thought, oh, I could put some of these up, but I'm like, I don't know if he wants me to do that. I'm like,
I
they're
know.
out there. People can check them out if they want. But I was like, oh, I didn't want to be the late night show host that goes, look what I found, and here you
You're
are.
like,
And
Ellen, here's the most embarrassing video I could find of you.
you're like, you twat. Why did you have to put that up? I do things now. Could you just do that? So,
No, there's some good stuff out there for sure.
yeah, your girlfriend's saying Joe will be on the music streaming services soon. Stay tuned.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
what will you have available like tonight at your show or on the 17th when people come out to the Funny Bone in St. Charles? What kind of things will you have? What merch wise?
Okay, so my friend Brett Baker made
Yeah.
made a he does woodworking and he has like a laser engraver, so he laser engraved a block for me with a couple designs. This is one of the first designs.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So like I take the block and I take block printing ink and press it in. If you look at it, let's see if I can get in on here.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Here, let me put you on the
So
solo again. I'll put you on by
so
yourself.
this is
Oh, beautiful.
this is the J.
Yes.
This is the W. It's backwards here. The
I
W,
get you. Yes.
and then there's a harmonica right in the middle of the J.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
So that's the idea behind that, Joe Waters and the harmonica kind of thing. Um, and I hand printed all these.
Yeah, I was gonna say every one of them is gonna be kind of a one of a kind, right?
So there's kind of there's the tote. So this is like a little carrying bag or whatever.
Oh, cool.
And then on the back is the
Oh
Joe
man.
Waters and the Back Porch Band. So I'm not bringing the band, but I do have some band merch, and I'm honestly like I'm just a musician. I'm trying to make some money to get down the road, and
Yeah.
and to be able to afford more merch, more personalized, like up to date, like Joe Waters, like
Yes.
because I'm doing a lot of solo stuff this year, and I feel like I should have some more of that stuff. See if I can
Ah,
get
there
this
you
in
go.
there. Joe Waters in the hot seat.
There you go. All right. Have to get me one of those.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there for sure. It's all original, all original. Some of them were co-written. My dad helped me write one. Number 6, My Blues is Piling Up. My dad helped me write that. Um,
Yeah, in fact, I
yeah, man,
think that's the video that I have as well. There
yeah,
you go. That's cool. Look at that. Is that a grapefruit or an orange?
that's an orange because the title track is called "Oranges Are Hard."
Oh, and they don't
So,
rhyme with anything.
oranges are hard. Yeah,
Oranges are hard.
they're hard to rhyme with.
They don't rhyme with anything unless you alter your words a little bit.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what that word would be at this point. Well, good, because I wanna, that way people can look and, be looking forward to what they might be able to pick up, to take home with them, and, you have plenty of the CDs on hand, and then you guys have
yeah, yeah.
there's a band EP that you just released, is that correct, or is it coming?
We have to update the bio. That's on hold right now.
Okay.
We never released it. It's taken a while to get that one out right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What seems can you talk about the hold up a skosh, or is it
A little bit. Basically we just are trying to find the right sound right now, and we
good?
thought what was being recorded just wasn't it for now.
That's perfect.
So,
Get it. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, you want
and especially with like the state of growth that I'm in, I'm just trying to make sure that like it is just that it just sounds really good. I want to go into a really nice studio and do it, and I want it to sound like my acoustic guitar. I want it to sound like my guitar,
yeah.
not like some. I don't want it to sound diluted or digital or like distorted in any way. I want it to be really nice. But that being said, I this last CD I did was totally DIY, and my friend Saxtone helped me out. He's in Zap, the Zap and Roger band. They are a world class funk band out of Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
Um, that he's still touring with. They help kind of like bring the talk box to where it is. The talk box.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, they help kind of get that where it was.
Wow.
But we
Well,
recorded this in my dude Saxtone's house.
what brand guitar do you play?
I mainly play a Gibson. It's a 1960 Gibson J50,
Wow,
and
nice.
I just had it serviced by Gruen. Got all new frets done in it, and
Very
man,
cool.
it sounds good. It just man, it does the job. It does the job for sure.
That's awesome.
Jesse says orange hinge, like
Orange,
gold hinge or
hinge,
unhinged.
unhinged, orange. Yeah, I mean, you know, you I've heard people do some things and you're like, "Okay, I get it. Yeah, that rhymes, I guess." Some of my favorites are where they alter the way they say a word, like Judas Priest did it on one of my least favorite albums of theirs. And man, I'm hard pressed to remember what it is. It's on Point of Entry, and he uses a word, and then I'm like, "Are you seriously gonna do this?" And he did it, and I'm like, I'm like, "Okay, dude. I mean, whatever you got to. It's cute. I get it. It's whatever you got to do, man. Whatever. I'm not doing what you do, so what the hell do I know?" I just know that I hate this record right
Let me
now. That's all I
let me
thought.
just pull this up real quick.
There you go. There you go. And I put that in the chat over here, so and then so you can go there and check out some of the videos. I'll tell you what. Why don't I throw this up here real quick? I don't know if I don't know how this all works right now. But I'm going to throw this video up. This is you performing at the show that you won. I think this is the
Nice.
part. I think this is the part one. It's going to start right up because I did it earlier and it started right up. So I'm like, okay. So what I did was I moved it forward just a couple of minutes or so through your harmonica to get to some of the others. So here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, is it going to stop? There it goes.
This next tune is an original piece called Palisade Peaches.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
There you go. And of course, this is something you play in the show, right? Like tonight?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to Colorado with my lover. No, we don't need too many things.
Now, have you
Mountain Mama, here we come.
only got a couple minutes left.
Well, from range Denver. Lord, Mountain Mama, here we come. Well, I'm thumbing my way to tell you right. $1 million highways I run. Well, I pick it for our teachers. Lord, I pick it for our hope. Pick it for my brothers. I'll pick it for all the folks on dope. Pick it for all the people that don't care or don't know. Lord, I pick it for myself, so let me go to Palisade Beaches. Lord, they're the sweetest things I've ever seen.
You gotta love that moment.
No Palisade Beaches. They're the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Well, I get them off the Colorado River. Just off of Highway 6.
It's all true.
Somebody loves it. Killer, my brother. That's gorgeous. I'd give it a win. Oh,
That
man.
was sweet. That was so much fun.
So where was your head like when you finished that harmonica intro and then you're getting ready to go into the next track?
The harmonica intro is what got me to where my head needed to be.
Oh,
Like
nice.
playing that song,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
really, because like like you're a musician, like you get,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you get nervous sometimes. Like it's
Oh,
like
all the time.
I want to warm up and like I want to like I feel like that song and like that song captures the people's crowds because it's everybody knows it. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's Amazing Grace. It's just so I feel like that kind of calms people's down and captures people's attention, and then you go into the train song and people love that shit too. And then sort of
Yeah.
like a Zydeco interpretation at the end of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it helped me get my brain into thinking about music instead of thinking about the audience. So, and I couldn't
Yeah.
see him anyway. I couldn't see him anyway. So it really brought me to where I needed to be so that I could just focus on playing a good set, I think.
Right. Now, and what I think, I mean, personally, this is where I am spiritually. When I think about that, I'm like, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you're putting yourself in the right headspace, not spiritually as well. So it goes beyond just I have physically done this song. You know, it's like I've
Yeah.
set it. You've almost set this musical table where you're like, I've I've done what I needed to do at this moment, and now that I've laid that, now let's do the rest.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I look at it. You know, it's kind of the way I look at luck. There's no luck. It's a blessing.
And
And
then just
yeah,
pouring it all into 26 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever is like, what the hell? So I'll be happy to be playing at the Funny Bone and
yeah,
stretching my time out for 2 hours and being able to give it all I got for 2 hours.
yeah.
That's where, because normally at a half an hour, like I'm warmed up. You know what I mean? I'm warmed up, warmed up. I'm ready to go for another hour and a
Yeah, yeah, you're
half.
like, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, there's so much more to be said here.
I
So,
have a friend of mine who used to tell me that the further he got into the evening, the better his voice got,
yeah,
and
yeah, there's that.
I could feel that. I could get that,
Yeah.
you know.
Been
As
trying not to drink ice water. Been trying to drink just like more like room temperature drinks while
yeah,
I play
I've
to not like, you know,
mhm,
mess my
yep,
throat up or whatever.
yeah.
But then again, I smoke weed or whatever. So then again, but then I think that might add to the voice. I don't know.
It's hard to tell because we've we've been around long enough in rock and roll and blues and that lifestyle, seeing that lifestyle, and you know, uh, Miley Cyrus was just talking about it recently when she was chatting with somebody in an interview, and you know, she's a smoker, I believe.
One of my favorite harmonica players in the world, Jason
Mhm.
Ritchie. He smokes these big fat cigars, man. He
Mm,
loves them, and I I just love his playing, dude. He can play. It seems like he can play just anything.
mm,
You know about that dude?
mm. Uh-uh.
He's like Sugar Blue, except a little bit more. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
So when you were coming up, besides your father, who was somebody that either he turned you on to, or well, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's do both. Who is somebody that your father turned you on to that you're like, yeah, that's gonna be a big influence on me?
Jay
And then
Giles
who is somebody that you bumped into yourself that you're like, oh yeah,
and Jay Giles. So Magic Dick,
oh
Richard
yeah,
Leibowitz, the harmonica player Richard Leibowitz, Magic Dick from Jay Giles, and then Jason Ritchie. So
okay,
I got to meet him because I reached out to him and I was like, dude, you're so cool. I was like, I want to hang out with you. I was like, you're so cool. I want to hang out with you. And I was like, I knew he smoked cigars, so I was like, what kind of cigars do you like?
Hmm.
And I went down to New Orleans and like bought whatever cigars. I went to the cigar shop he suggested, bought some cigars, went and sat on his porch with him and like It's so funny. I wanted to like talk harmonica or whatever. It's totally cool, but we talked cigars for like the whole time. Like the whole time. He's like, "Here's my humidor." I had never smoked a cigar before, so he was like, he taught me all about it. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I was recently, went over and hung out with my my brother and nephew, recently and, out of state, and we sat and had a cigar. They were telling me about the cigar shop where they go, and I'm like, "Wow," and they're like, "I didn't know if you'd want one." I'm like, "Well, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's just do." I don't do it all the time. I don't go buy my own, you know, but, wow, that really makes me sound like an ass. It's like, yeah, I don't buy them. I just smoke them when somebody's got one. I mean, it's pretty much the way it goes, but
It's a
maybe
boy. It's a boy.
maybe someday I should go and buy some. But yeah, it's just relaxing. You just but that's hilarious that you ended up talking cigars the whole time.
Almost the whole time. Yeah, he's super nice though. I want to be half as good as that dude someday. Holy shit! Check out
Yeah.
Jason Ritchie for
Well,
sure.
and it sounds like all you do is just go back, get another box of cigars and go back and then
Yeah,
this
like,
time
hey, here's 6 cigars. Maybe through the third one, can we talk some harp or something?
can we not focus
No,
on these
no,
today?
he does. He actually does. He does. I want to do this someday, but I don't think I'm at like. I don't want to like teach. I don't. I feel like there's still so much to learn.
Mhm.
But he teaches. He teaches. He has free music lessons on YouTube
Okay.
for harmonica, and he does online music lessons and stuff too. And he has a Patreon. It's $1 a month. You should definitely check it out. I want
Yeah.
to do stuff like that someday. I just feel like there's still so much to learn before I start.
Yeah.
There's still so many, and there's so many good resources to learn online. It's like honestly, just watch that. So I can't. You ever try to explain how to bend a note on a harmonica to somebody? It's such a
I
weird thing to try to explain.
yeah.
I don't think I could.
It
And I feel like
yeah, you're like,
I
I
should be
don't
able to do that before I go trying to teach or something.
yeah, just yeah, maybe do some practice videos and see if and then hand it to somebody and go, "Can you learn to do this from what I said on this?" Or
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah, yeah.
That'd be a
So
cool little thing. I do want to start a YouTube. I love YouTube, man. This is great. I love
thank you very
doing
much.
this.
Thank you.
It's very awesome.
Yeah, I take pride in the things that come along, and enjoy them. Again, it's about music and the human experience, right? That's when a lot of my guests are like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent." I'm like, "No, tangent all you want. That's what this is about. It's about a discussion and just having fun and seeing what comes next." Um,
Yeah.
now, what is something that you think about, like when you wrote these songs? How many songs are on the EP that you're working on so far?
5.
5. And do you think, I mean, this is just a thought, obviously, that's why I think. Um, what is it about, I mean, during this process, do you think it might expand to a 5 more songs and you'll have a whole record in this time frame where you're waiting to do it right?
I think that I think that this year I'll probably do one. I think that I'm gonna release a lot of solo individual tracks. I'll
Mhm.
do a lot of singles
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
solo artist, and then I think that by next year I'll have a really nice band thing to put out.
Yeah.
I think this year is kind of about my growth as an individual solo artist,
Mm.
and my shows are really reflecting that. And the opportunities that I'm getting are reflecting that I'm going to be doing a lot of solo stuff this year.
That's
But I
cool.
think there's so many things. Yeah, there's just so many things that are going right with that. But I do want to have a band, and it's so fun to play with other people, man. Just the interaction between the instruments and stuff. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. So I definitely
Yeah.
it's something that I want to work on, and I want to put together and make it really nice. I want to
Mhm.
make sure that I have the right people with me that I could see myself spending some serious time with.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not always easy. you know, but it's worth it for anybody who hasn't done it or thought, oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, it's worth it. It's it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. But
It really is.
it does come down to a business side of it though. There's we got to make we got to have something back for all the
For
work that
sure.
we do, you know.
For sure. And it's expensive to to travel. So I'm trying to get this
Mhm.
like I love the blues and like we're gonna do a lot of blues. It's gonna be basically like Americana. We're gonna be doing a lot of Americana music,
Mhm.
jazz grass, um, blues, folk, country. We're gonna be doing it all.
Cool.
And I'm thinking basically the band is stand up bass, drums, acoustic guitar, which is me, harmonica, and then my dude Dan Phelps. He's basically like one of the most badass bluegrass pickers in Ohio. He can play anything. But so there's that, and then a fiddle player, man. It's gonna be a great little project
Yeah. Yeah.
for
There's some,
sure. I'm super excited. It just seems like a next year thing, though.
yeah, I mean, here's what I always say, Joe. This is one of my lines that I'll tell everybody every day. It that just says everything happens for a reason, but not only that, everything happens when it should, because we live with a lot less regret if we understand that we could walk around all day. I could walk around all day going, I wish I would have done this channel sooner. But you know what? It's happening when it should. And
Yeah,
it's growing when it should. So, you know, that's I take that to heart so that I don't walk around all day going, why didn't I do
so
this or why didn't I
yeah,
do that? You
for
know,
sure.
and just keep my eyes open so that when something happens like this today, when it comes to the door and says, hey, what do you think? Can we do this? Absolutely, we can do this. We can fit this right in and it works great. And it's a blast. So, you know, those are the things that I try to keep in mind. There is one other thing I wanted to ask you about working with your dad. Um, since you've performed and recorded for many years, what are a few of your favorite perks from those experiences and having the opportunity to work with your dad as you were growing up in music?
Feels like just him already having a foot in the door with all the people around Dayton, Ohio. Dayton,
Mhm,
Ohio is such a rich music community,
mhm,
and you really can build a career out of this town. Um, I think just him kind of co- coaching me and like making sure I sound good before he takes me out of the house, and like we practiced for a long time before I went out and played at the Charlie's Top.
mhm.
But I think I don't want to miss the question, but I think just like him coaching me and introducing me to all his friends and him teaching me all the chords that he knows and all the songs that he knows and my mom my mom just like being still in a healthy relationship with my dad like after all the stuff like my family's been through like just all of us still being together and being like a good committed family. I think it's really a good I'm in a good community and a good spot with my family to for my career to grow. There's not too much to really worry about or like
Yeah.
stress about. We've been through some hard times. I lost my brother when I was like a little kid, so that's one of the hardest things we've ever been through. And then
Oh,
my
yeah.
dad, my dad fell off the roof. He became brain damaged and like for a long time, and we all kind of stayed together. And I feel like a lot of families don't do that. I feel like families break up after some hard stuff. I don't know what the divorce rate is, but I bet it's pretty high.
Yeah, I wonder
Um,
what it is. It used to be like 50%, and you're like,
yeah.
I don't know.
So I think just having a good family and like them supporting me, buying me instruments, taking
Mhm,
me to the
mhm.
places I need to be in, entering me into the groups I should be in, and just I think all that was a perk. I think all that was a good perk
Awesome.
for sure.
Awesome. I do have one other specific question in there because this is something that not as I don't play six string. I mean, I have six strings, and that's what retirement is about for me. But uh, but did your dad teach you? Okay, if this string breaks, this is what you do. Because I think about that as a person who doesn't play six. I'm like, oh shit! If I was up there and there goes my what string? I mean, it's like, what string are you the most concerned about losing?
Probably my G string.
Your D string?
My G string.
Oh, your G, yeah, the G
My
string.
G string, because
Yeah.
I feel like I use it the most or so. Like I could finish a song with if I was missing almost any if I was missing any string on my guitar, I could finish the song. I might like finish it early.
Uh-huh.
Especially because I play by myself. It's like you see these videos of BB King, he break or somebody, Stevie Ray Vaughan, he breaks
Yep.
a string, the band keeps playing, they bring Stevie another guitar and he puts it on and keeps playing. Or
Wait, you don't
or
have that?
no, I don't have that. And then BB he does it himself, but he has like a string in his pocket right here, and like his band keeps playing and he keeps singing like, but I'm playing by myself, so I kind of have to like finish the song, and I'll kind of cut it early, and probably take like a 5 minute break to change a string, and
Right.
like just start again, you know.
Because you
Like,
got to retune, you got to restring it, you got to make sure it's right, you got to retune everything.
it's it's all good. It's just yeah, I think the G string is the one that I'm most scared of breaking.
Well, I think what we need to do, Joe, is find you a boot camp for guitar string changing, and before you know it, you'll just be up there doing the 12-inch single version of something. You won't stop, you won't cut it short, you'll make it longer and be changing the string the whole time.
If I could
You'll be new
that's a
strung.
trick for
Yeah.
sure. Like if I could learn if it was in like DADGAD, I could alternate the bass and like
Yes.
restring the guitar so I and restring it with my other hand. If I can
Yes.
learn how to restring with my left hand, just my left hand, I think we're on to something here.
So far what we've got, if I hit a review point, would be strap with the harmonica cozy, and
Yeah,
then restringing with one hand. So
yeah. These are the things that I don't think people have done yet.
what can I bring to the world besides my music?
Right.
This is all great. Yeah, there's something to be said. I also have talked with different bands over the last couple of years about affecting those that you can, instead of worrying about, because there's so much talk about the music industry, you know, these days, and how it's not the same, and it's just not so good. I'm like, these for the there were people within the industry that at a time they gave a real shit about the person, but over time it became money. And so sometimes I just talk about affecting those that you can, instead of worrying about affecting the whole world,
Yeah.
you know?
Worry about the people, take care of the people next to you.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
everybody in the world took care of the people next to them and their family's family and just their people, I think that the world would definitely be a better place. Like if
Yeah.
we each just took care of our neighbor, like for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to somebody about that at work the other day. I thought, check with your neighbors and see if there's anything that needs to be done, because sometimes they just have a little something that's bogging them down. And if you were there, and then I always use the example of how I called a friend over when I got done having family and friends help us put up a fence. And I had some leftover stuff that needed to go under the rafters in the garage. And I called my friend, and we did it in 5 minutes. And he's like, "Is that
Yeah.
it?" I go, "Yeah, that's it." It would have taken me 30 minutes to go up and down on this ladder. But having you here, it went 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. So we need to start looking into what do our neighbors need and stuff, because we can all get real high and mighty on stuff, and then but you're like, are you helping your neighbor? Have you?
Yeah.
They're calling your name. They're right there.
Sometimes it's hard to. Yeah. Sometimes we get caught up in our own lives,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. So what's I'm also gonna double check. Let me double check this note too that Ron sent me. I want to make sure that I talk about a couple of these
Ron's
things here.
awesome, man. He's a
Man,
cool
how
dude.
about that, Ron?
I'm so happy about this.
You are on tour with George Thorogood coming up. You had mentioned it earlier, and so did Ron. So when does that start?
I'm playing with him April 23rd in Kitchener, Ontario,
Okay, cool.
and then
Wow.
so it's not like a solid tour. Like I'm playing with him like a couple different times throughout the year. Right now, we have 6 shows, but I have 6 shows booked with him.
Okay.
Um, I want to say I'm going out to Kansas, and I don't want to close out of the video. I don't have my
No, it's
calendar in
all
front
good.
of me.
Is
So
is
yeah,
it on your page?
I'm going out to Kansas with him in May
Cool.
for 3, and Colorado for 3 days, and then we're going to Boston, Massachusetts, and Delaware. I just hope he
Wow.
just I just hope I just do a super good job, and he just wants to keep hiring me because it sounds super cool. I just want to do as much of that as I can possibly do.
Yes. My
I want
my
to,
dad.
I think this is a year of growth, and I think doing stuff like that is, and
Oh,
stuff like the Funny Bone, and just like,
yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
focusing on my growth, man. I think that's what this year is about, and I'm really excited for it,
Yeah.
for
That
sure.
sounds
A lot of work
awesome.
to do. A lot of work to
Now,
do.
have you met George before, or have
Never.
you met
I
him
heard he's
yet?
a super, super nice guy, though.
Cool. Yeah,
His team told me that they've all been with him for 20 years or so, or 15, 20 years, and like since I'm the new guy, he's gonna want to just tell me everything about all his experiences on tour and stuff, and I'm just ready to sit there and just listen and just ask questions, and so I'm
Oh
excited.
man, that's gonna be so cool. I mean, that's you know, it's well, thank you, Drew. Um, yeah, there you go. See? And you said Jessie is her name, right?
Yes,
Yes. Trust the divine timing of life. Yeah. It's a good way to just let it flow. Many hands make light work. You are absolutely right. We're working on getting all Joe's scheduled shows up on the website.
she
So then
she's the best. She's working on that, and she's doing all that. She's really very helpful.
yeah. Well, and that's cool. You're out there, doing what you got to do to make sure that everything that she's doing comes together and works together, right?
Yeah,
That's the beauty of these moments. And I again, I appreciate you doing this with me today, um, and it's been a blast. I hope
I
that
love this.
I think I'm going to be gone for the show when you're here, but
I'm gonna
um,
come back through
but
another time.
absolutely come back through just for me. Just
Just for you.
make
We'll
the
listen to those
announcement.
records behind you.
It's the yeah. You can come over. We'll have a meal and we'll talk vinyl. Um, and everything. Ron just came over. He and I are going to do some work together. And he just came over and I gave him a couple of pieces of vinyl actually the other day. Because his brother-in-law is Robert Barry after all. And
Who is that?
Robert Barry is a gentleman who was actually one of the last people to work with Keith Emerson. And back in the 70s, sorry, back in the 80s, in 1988, they put out an album called Three with Robert Barry. This is his brother-in-law, is in the middle right there. So Robert
Awesome.
Barry and Keith Emerson and Carl Palmer got together in 1988 and
Listen
did
to
this band called Three, and the album was called To the Power of Three. which this is a great place to, like I was asking you, do you do things with covers, to change them up a little bit? Um,
Yeah,
and on this, there's a brilliant cover of the Byrds' 8 Miles High that proves how Robert will rearrange a song. And he really he does some great creative things with it. So that's his brother-in-law. So he did that. And then the latest thing that he's working with is a band called 6x6. And
that's
this is
so cool.
with Ian Crichton of Saga and with Nigel Glockler of Saxon. And they have their brand new album coming out, and that interview is out there. We were just talking about the new album coming. So,
Awesome.
um, yeah. So Ron and I were chatting about some things. I'm trying to remember exactly where I was going with that. The funny thing, though, that he told me about the story about Joe Satriani recording "Flying in a Blue Dream," and he was doing the Big Bad Moon song, and that's got a big harmonica solo in it, right?
No way.
And when you listen to that, he just told me about it, that's Huey Lewis.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that Huey.
Yeah.
You said something about Huey Lewis playing harmonica earlier, and I didn't know he played harp.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
check it out.
yeah, all the way back to the first album, he played, killer harmonica, and then ended up, doing harmonica work with, Bruce Hornsby and The Range on their, debut record too. So, so he did some work on that. He's credited on that. Now he's not credited on the Satriani album though. He came in, he's like, "I just need something," because it's a total blues tune, Big Bad Moon, and it was the first song that Satriani was gonna sing, and so he was kind of apprehensive, and then he started thinking about harmonica, and so he went down the hall because Huey was working on some stuff in the same studio and had him come down, and he's like, "Could you do something that, like, kinda harmonica sound metalish?" You know? And so he honked it out in one take. One take.
That's awesome.
Killer, right? I'm like, "Damn." And said, "Don't credit me," is what he told him. Yeah. Yeah. If you wanna see something neat about Huey Lewis, watch The Greatest Night in Pop Music. It's about the making of We Are the World, and there's a great conversation with Huey Lewis on there. So great stuff. So where do you go? Let's see, you're gonna come here. Do you have another show after tonight somewhere else?
No, after tonight, no. I'm just practicing for the Funny Bone, really.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Cool.
and then yeah, I'm honestly this year though. Each month I'll be like so like St. Louis this month, then I'm the next month I'm going to Canada, then I'm going to Arkansas. This place called dude, I forget what it's called. This is beautiful there though.
Hmm,
Mm,
wondering.
yeah, man.
I have I have your site
I'm
pulled
ex-
up, so I'm wondering if, let's
all
see.
the gigs aren't on there yet, but I'm gonna be all
Okay.
over the place this year, and I'm just really excited for it.
Yeah. Because you
A
have
lot of
what do you
driving, a lot of
yeah, and
driving.
then you have, so yeah, after you're here, you do the Trail Town gig, and you have that you were saying that you play there a lot. Um, and
Yeah,
then again, you're back there in May and in June.
yeah.
So
So anytime I'm home, I got some regularly scheduled gigs for sure.
that's not an easy word like
Br
orange.
Not orange, not orange. But I play at this place, Brew Nation, Urbana Brewing Company,
Yeah.
Trailtown, a lot of breweries, man. Like, and I feel like I said, I'm in kind of this transitional period. I think
Mhm.
there'll always be a place for these venues, especially for like traveling artists and artists when they're home and stuff. Even artists in Nashville, man, they're playing at like these, smaller venues and getting their
Yeah.
ticketed prices when they're home. And
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's brilliant. I think it's again, it's affecting those people who are near to you. And I
For
think
sure.
it builds a true loyalty because I mean, I really hate to put it this way, but you're willing to go and spend your time at a brewery or a bar or a club, where it's not just
I feel
all
like Trail
about
Town's different, though. Trail
yeah.
Town's different, though, because they really are a listening crowd. They're good. This is a
Mhm.
very artsy community out here.
Cool.
Dave Chappelle's got a comedy club out here. Dave Chappelle lives here. Since we're talking about the Funny Bone,
Wow.
um, yeah, he lives in town, man. He owns a comedy club, and he's bringing all kinds of.
Oh, wow. Little lockup. That's weird. Uh, hopefully hopefully it'll start back up. We'll see how it goes. Just about to wrap it up too. Let's see if maybe he can pop out and pop back in, maybe. But we'll see. Maybe it'll come back. Um, in the meantime, in the meantime, it was really interesting that he mentioned Magic Dick from um, Jay Giles because there was this of Playboy where it has Patty Maguire, 1976, and the reason I bring that up is not like ooh Playboy magazine. That's not the point. The point is that every song has a a true parallel. It's not just about the song. It's not just about, oh, I'll write this fantastic song about a fantasy situation. No, that was real life. And when I moved here and started working in St. Louis and I got my second job, someday I'll tell you about that story. That was a hoot. That was a real frickin' hoot. Um, so ooh, Playboy magazine. Yes. Back in the classy days, right? Um, so when I moved here, I got my second job and I worked with a salesperson who told me that they went to high school with Patty Maguire, that she's from St. Louis. Well, I flipped out and then all of a sudden it hit me. Jay Giles band is that's not not like they wrote it due to that situation, but it's just like that situation. What he told me, the story about being in high school with her was I was like, first of all, I'm like, oh my God, you went to high school with this woman that I just thought was gorgeous for decades. And she married Chris Connors, the tennis player, and and has had a great life with Chris. So um, so anyway, for that to come up and for me to listen to Jay Giles band doing Centerfold, I'm like, nope, I totally get it. I know exactly what you're talking about here. That's that situation. It was so weird. So cool. Um, so anyway, that's what I I found a picture. She's so pretty, just so pretty. And I found a picture of her and used it for my there you go. Used it for my wallpaper. Um, and anyway, so there you go. Hmm. There's a little boy running around in my head. So, well, hey, let's finish this off. I don't know that Joe's going to make it back in because he's probably got to get ready for his show tonight. Thank you, Drew. Yes, absolutely. So pretty, stunningly beautiful. Um, but let's see. I got to see if there was anything else I was going to ask. Oh, yeah, there was one other question I was going to ask. I'll let you know what it was. Um, he was talking about it talks about in one of the articles there that I was reading on durangobluestrain.com. I can type that in here so you can check it out. Durango Blues Whoop, Train. www.vikingout.com. So check that out. And there's a great article in there that gives a nice quick overview. But in it, it mentions about Joe playing some deep cuts, some traditional blues and some deep cuts. And I was kind of eager to find out what some of those deep cuts were. And my question was going to be, tell us about some of the deep cuts, deep blues cuts you choose to perform. And then how often do you think of a deep cut and decide against it? Because sometimes that happens in a band. It happens in mine where I'll think of a song, I'll hear a song, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Gosh, I love that song. That's beautiful. That's going to be. And then I listen to it. Either I listen to it by myself again, or I listen to it with my bandmates. And I'm like, and I've totally done this where I go, I was thinking about this song and I put it on. I go, nope, don't even worry about it. Nope, it's not going to work. I can feel it, you know. You feel something, and then you have to put it in the right context, because then that's when you start realizing, yeah, no, this is just about me right now. You know, when I heard that song, it was about me. I love this song, but when it comes out in the wash, it's not about you. It's about your crowd. So a lot of times that happens too. You're like, "Ooh, this is going to be great," and then sometimes it gets all the way to a gig, and you're like, "Yeah, not what I thought, not what I thought." So never mind. We won't have to do that one again, because sometimes sometimes your bandmates are like, "Hey, how about this?" Or or you're like, "Okay, well, let's do this song." So you work on it, you put it in the gig, and then all of a sudden you're like looking at them, and they're like, yeah, I don't. And you're like, stop, stop. I know. Nope. We won't ever play it again. Maybe you even played it well. I mean, I would hope we'd always play something well, but I've got my moments. Everybody's got their moments. Um, but it is, and this is true, Drew. Mood changes, and it was a moment. We did it one time. I remember years ago. We did it in another band that I was in with many members. I think we had it might have been 5 members in that band at the time, and we played Open Arms by Journey, and I'm like, we're done. We don't ever have to play that again, because it was missing all the little bits of orchestration and all the things that make that song so sweeping, even when you're watching it during heavy metal, right? If you don't have all those things going on, it's like, yeah, this was really thin, so no more. And you hate to do that, because you choose a song because it touches you and you're like, oh, it's going to be great. And no, it's just the way it goes sometimes. So anyway, we wish all the best to Joe. I thank everybody for being here today and chatting in. That is beautiful. Thank you, Jesse, for being here with us too and letting us know about a few more things. Ron, thank you for the information. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your help. And we hope Joe has a fantastic show tonight. I look forward to then and talking about maybe keeping in touch while he's doing this tour. Especially, I would love to do lightning news flashes with him as he's on the road with George Thorogood. So I think that would be a fantastic show. Thank you so much, Drew. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Joe thanks you. And like I said, for anybody in the area here in the St. Louis area, check out Joe is going to be over at St. Charles Funny Bone, which is it's right on the other side of the river. It's where, if anybody remembers, it is thank you so much. Appreciate that, Jesse. If if you've ever driven through the St. Louis area through into St. Charles area all these years ago, there used to be a place there called Noah's Ark, and it was a huge ark. I went there when I was a kid with my family, but once. I think I went there once, and then it was closed for years, and then they finally got rid of it. Now they have what's called Streets of St. Charles there. It's a big, huge complex. That's where the Funny Bone is. It's a very nice place. You can make a whole evening of it. They have plenty of places to eat, plenty of places to hang out, stop by a bar. You can bar hop in there. You can get yogurt, whatever you need. You can see a movie, early in the day, and then go get dinner, and then go to the show. Because let me give you the details again. If I remember this right, 6 o'clock, right? It's at the St. Charles Funny Bone on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th at 6 p.m., which I believe is a Sunday, right? Because I changed my calendar. That's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. No, 17th. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 17th. I'm getting myself all screwed up, which is a Sunday. So bear that in mind. See, I know that because I have my Boris Vallejo calendar right up there. Oh, and Julie Bell, his wife, worked on some of the artwork too. So yeah, March 17th, which is a Sunday, 6 p.m. Tickets are only $12, man, to see this amazing artist who is an award winner already. So I truly look forward to meeting up with Joe face to face. Hopefully that can happen soon down the line, and hopefully we'll have him back on during those. I'll say this to you, Jesse, during those times when he's out on the road with Mr. Thorogood and the boys. I think that would be brilliant if we could have a couple of from the road interviews. It wouldn't have to be long. Just give us an exciting rundown. I love doing those. That was fun to do with the Midnight Devils. So from the UK. So that was great. So hopefully we can do that. I'm looking forward to doing more of those. By the way, I'm working on some different interviews. I'm working on things with Zebra. Also working on Angel at the moment, and and Midnight Devils. I'll be working with that tomorrow. Hang out with us. I'll be good. See, great minds think alike. So I love it. Thank you. I love it. See, all I gotta do is let you know. You don't know unless I say it, right? So tomorrow, a brilliant metal band, and they're from St. Louis, and I've seen them twice, at least twice, maybe 3 times over the years that I've been here. They started up right when I moved down here, and they've put out multiple albums. They have, I think there's 5 records. They got a brand new release coming out. The band is called Conquest. The front man is Derek Brumley, and he is going to be on my show. He and I got to hang out recently down at Cat Muse's show, which is STL Roar. And it's a great show that highlights regional and local bands. And so be sure and check that out. And it's a great show. It's on every Monday. So it was on last night. And I've been on it a couple of times. And one of those nights was I was out driving around and Conquest was on the show. So I pulled in and hung out with them and talked to them a little bit about music, the music industry, and things like that. Because there's so many times you can't talk about that. You're driving around and you're listening to your radio. They got an interview going on and you're like, that's the beauty of this. You can ask questions. You can chime in and do that. So they were kind of talking about different things. And I'm like, man, if I could only talk to them about this, I got some ideas. So it worked out great. So thanks again, everybody, for being here. Let me get this rolling, and look forward to checking out Conquest with you guys tomorrow. I'm talking to Derek. Check them out in the meantime. They're on your streaming channels. You can check them out on Spotify. You can check them out on Apple Music. So do it and check it out. They have great records. There's not a clunker in the bunch. Love it. All right, you guys. Thanks again to Joe Waters. I appreciated him being here today. Look forward to hearing how his show is. Jesse, thank you very much. Ron, thank you very much. Everybody, have a fantastic evening.
Can you dig it?
See you tomorrow.